Thank you for your kind words, Barbara. And hello there, everyone. Those that are here and watching right now from the comfort of my own studio. I am Stíofán Séamus, and I'm a spiritual healer and advisor and an intuitive reader. As we live our lives, Spirit guides us to and through life situations that can be difficult to understand. It is up to us to decide if we will follow the path that the Creator has set before us or ignore all the signs and wonders that this universe has to offer. Sometimes we are presented with a life situation where we need further guidance or healing to get through it. And as a spiritual advisor and a master Reiki healer, I connect with Source and channel messages and healing specifically for you and your highest good. If you're having love life issues, we can talk about it and see what Spirit would want you to know about the situation right now. Emotional issues, well, maybe you are in need of a Reiki session so that we can channel universal life energy to help you realign. Or maybe you are debating a career move or just in general questioning your career and what's going to happen and need to know if right now it's time to make that move. Well, through our Spirit's mutual understanding, we can seek out these answers. So, message me now to get in line for your reading today. In light and love, Stíofán Séamus, Guide of the Light. So, I do got a couple people right off the bat today, and that is great and wonderful and just amazing. But as we start off with every show, I like to do some kind of meditation or archangel message or spirit message or devotional or something just to kind of get us centered and into the moment and allow us to kind of become one in spirit and mode. So if you will, with me right now in this moment, join in with me in that time. So we have the Archangel Oracle deck here, and this is, I really like this deck. It just gives some very precise information in it, but yet it's also general enough that I have free reign to interpret. So, and we're going to see what the cards come up here. I'm just going to draw two. Okay. So, we got a couple of clairs that came up for today's Archangel message. The first card is claircognizance. And this is a message from Archangel Uriel. Uriel says, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. Okay, so let's take a moment to get into that just a moment. And I'm going to pop the camera up here. There we go. claircognizance. And let's just talk about this for just a moment. You know, I think that we're in a time where a lot of time can be spent in coming up with ways and ideas to do certain things or take on certain tasks. And maybe right now in your life, you're kind of in a crossroad of, not really knowing where to go or what to do. And you got a couple of things that's on your mind, and it's seem like good ideas, but you're just not sure. So lean into those, but then take the time to meditate and let the divine speak to you so that the picture can become more clear. So then that will lead you to this next card. The next card is Clairsentience, and this is from Archangel Raguel. And Raguel says, notice your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. And so as you're going through your thought process and trying to break down these things, go with what your heart is telling you. Go with what that gut feeling is. A lot of the times we want to just shy away from certain things, and I get this, but there's this thought and there's this idea that you should not only just think logically here. Logical thinking does work, but that will only work to the point that your ego will allow it to. And the reason why I say that is because the logical side of us is the realism side of us. And so in realism, you got to have fact, and you got to have these things that are basically concrete. But emotion and feelings and thoughts and ideas, those things are concrete. So though there is an element of concreteness to filling out what you need to do for your particular situation, you also need to take the time to realize, okay, but the most rational thing would be to do this. The most logical thing would be to do this. But I don't feel right doing that because it doesn't go with what I feel deep down inside of me. And that's where you got to follow. That's like me. And say somebody told me, oh, you should just charge. You should charge anyways. And I'm like, no, I don't. I can't do that. I will do my readings. I will do my my spread that I came up with so that I can do free readings. And that's going to get me the results that I need, and also provide the insight that the individual needs. And if I don't get any money from that, then I don't care. Now, I mean, anything outside of that, I would like to see a little bit of monetization. But I'm not going to force people to monetize. And that was a very non-concrete decision I had to make that ended up becoming concrete because of the type of decision that it was. So lean into your physical and emotional feelings, because that's where you're going to feel the divine telling you, yes, this is the right path, or no, this is not right. Because your thoughts and ideas are just that. So take a moment as you get into that and just breathe and let the divine speak to you in power and in truth. Peace. Okay. I had Nicolina, and I am sorry, dear. I'm going to have to ask you to repeat your question. And if you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Periscope, I do encourage you to go to the YouTube channel and watch from there. It just keeps up with the amount of people a little bit better, and so forth. And plus, you'll get better notifications of when I'm on and when videos go out. All of the videos, or all of the readings that I do are recorded and then put onto the YouTube channel. So if you missed a segment, or you wanted to watch somebody's reading, or you wanted to watch me read, just whoever, you can go on there and watch different readings of mine. You can also go on there and watch and listen to some of the other meditations and archangel messages and so on there as well. Nicolina, you said our subliminal audio that I am listening to helpful and beneficial to me. I mean, I'm just going to say that possibly I would say yes, but I don't know what kind of subliminal audio that you're listening to. But usually, especially if you're like listening to the 432 hertz music videos and such like that, yes, they can be helpful, but I don't know that that's something that I can do as a question to subliminals for better looks. Oh. Okay. Okay. Nicolina. I'm going to do a yes-no on this. Hello, Carlo. Nicolina, I want to do a yes-no card on this, which really kind of goes against what I usually do. But what I usually do doesn't... I usually don't get like yes-no questions on something like this, so... we're going to see what we can get to come up. All right, Carlo, you're going to be... I have somebody ahead of you. But yes, I can definitely do a reading for you. Nicolina, could you give me a number between 1 and 78, please? $33. Okay, so the card that you got for this is the Four of Swords. Um, so the general meaning on this is a time for retreat. You're mentally exhausted. You need time to discover new answers. You're given too much of yourself and you are worn out. Some time in nature would do you good. So I'm picking up a vibe of it could be helping some, but I don't know that it's the exact right path for you. That line that you need time to discover new answers really jumped out at me when I went over this. And so that's why I'm like, I don't know. I feel hesitant about it. And so that's what I would say. I don't know. I just feel uneasy. And it might be the particular messages that you're listening to. It may not be necessarily like the task itself, but it may be the particular messages that you're listening to. So I would be looking out and making sure that you find one that are body positive, that are spirit positive. The thing is with that is you want to do what's best for your higher self. And if it's not clicking with you, I mean, it sounds like to me that you're kind of wondering really if it's actually working. If you're not really feeling like it's working, that would be a sign to me that maybe you need to find a different avenue. And from this card coming up and that line of you need to time to discover new answers, that very possibly could be the answer to your question. So that's about all I got for you on that one. Okay. Barbara. Oh, Barbara, how are you, dear? I am well. I am well. I'm staying safe, continuing to do this and everything. So, honey, what was your question for me? Okay. All right. So, just get you a general reading then. Just kind of check in, a little check in, see what you need to know. Okay. All right. We'll see what we can do about answering the love life along with this question. But if it doesn't come up in this question, if you want to have a love life reading, I can do that. If you wouldn't mind to hang on and do that after Carlo. But like I said, we'll see what pops up in this one. Okay. All right. All right, Barbara. Okay. Well, we need to know what Miss Barbara needs to know about her life right now. And if you can throw a little bit of information about the love life, that would be wonderful. Maybe they're connected. Who knows? But we do ask for the divine to bring that in. And Miss Barbara, if you could bring me, or if you could let me know of 3 numbers. I need one number between 1 and 16. The second number, I need between 1 and 22. And the third number between 1 and 40. If you could do that for me, that'd be very wonderful and awesome and great. And I would just love you forever. Mm. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. So the card from the um, court deck is the King of Wands. The King of Wands. I'll be so glad to be able to get another camera so that you all can really see the details in these cards and be able to see the name on the card and all that. Okay. Anyways, had to get that out of the way. The King of Wands. So the King of Wands is a warrior or has a mentality of a warrior. They love a challenge. They're confident and energetic and can be brutally honest. They love to be physically active. They could have a my way or the highway kind of attitude. It could suggest that one needs more self-confidence and strength. They may need to take more action, always moving forward, mastering the next levels. So let me see here. Okay. The card from the major arcana is 10, the Wheel of Fortune. This is the card of destiny. It suggests good fortune, but only if one is ready to roll with the punches and go with the flow. Everything that happens at this time is part of one's destiny. One should relinquish the need to control one's life. So I'm just kind of giving you an overview real quick, and then we'll kind of get into the thoughts and ideas of this. Oh, I'm sorry. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. The card from the lower 40 is the Six of Swords. Suggests that one is moving away from the chaos and moving into calmer waters. You'll start noticing new opportunities in synchrony. I can't say that word. Anyways, I don't even know why I wrote it down. Remember not to take the past with you. In the presence of other travel cards, this would indicate overseas travel, but we're not even seeing that here, so we're not even worried about that. I don't necessarily see anything that's necessarily suggesting future relationship stuff here, so I'm pretty confident this isn't as much about the relationship side of it. I mean, there is a hint of struggling in relationship, but it's not as much about that as it is that I don't know. We'll get to it. Okay. So I want to talk about this King of Wands for a second. This line of an individual that has a my way or the highway approach, or attitude. I'm I'm under the impression that this is the X. Okay. Yeah, because I'm kind of getting this feeling of the very authoritarian kind of, if it's not done the way that I want it, then it's not done. That kind of attitude. But there's heartbreak here, and it's not showing in the cards. It's just, I feel very like, I feel like there was a very sudden change in the relationship. Which I guess actually it is implicated by the cards, too, a little bit, but I just it seemed like a very volatile moment in life and in the relationship, and it's just like you're still really in a spot. What I feel like is you're still kind of trying to wrap your head around everything. That things still don't quite seem the way that you think that they should. And the reason why I say this is because here's a little thing, just from the images of the cards. With the images of the cards, on the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Swords, both, they both have rough waters in the seascape picture. So in the seascape picture of the Wheel of Fortune, I wished I had my pen here. I need a pen, something to point with. In the seascape picture of Wheel of Fortune, you got these white caps in here, and so this is kind of like, it's a little bit of roughness, but there was some it's some unexpectance and so on and stuff like that. And then in the Six of Swords, the rough waters represents, rough times in the past. And then, of course, with water, those could tend to mean emotional issues as well. So, I said after 20 and a half years of marriage, I still can't believe I'm divorced. Yeah, and I'm sorry. I am so sorry to hear that too, So, what I believe that the divine wants you to know, see, and realize is that this path was a path of destiny for you. And as cruel as that seems, to put you in a relationship that just wasn't very nice to you in the beginning, and then that was nice to you in the beginning. Excuse me, I misspoke. And then turned out to be not so nice. That it comes up as being this, oh, well, it was just part of your destiny. And that seems so cruel to us. But what we got to remember is that our destiny is a path. And sometimes we have to take time to learn from everyday occurrences. The relationship part of the Wheel of Fortune said one's relationship is part of one's destiny. It's up to one how they choose to embrace their lessons. Don't get hung up on the right one. All relationships are valuable. So, does that ease the sting any? Not much, but it does give you a sense of purpose as to why. And though we may not agree with that 100% of the time, at least it is an answer, because we could be left without an answer, and that's the most scary place to be. So then you have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords. Wherever it went. 7, 8, 5, 6 swords. Did I not put a... Okay. So, the divine wants you to remember that your love life will seem less chaotic, which is a great thing. It's a great thing. But don't bring the past with you. Be willing to let that go. Be willing to say, that was a part of my life at one time. And for me to better my higher self, I have to acknowledge that this is done. And as taken aback by it as I am, and as just flabbergasted as I am, what is more important is that I do what's best for me. And whenever you get to that point in being able to say that and getting yourself focused and motivated on that, I think you will see a great shift in your spiritual aspects that you were asking about. So, just remember, this isn't over. This isn't the end. In fact, the Six of Swords, if you look beyond the horizon, there's the sun coming up. And it's coming up over this little island of land out here. There is land in sight. So don't hold back and don't be afraid. Charge forward and take back your power for your highest good. Amen. And that's about all that I know to say. I felt like I needed to say that, so felt like I was preaching there for a second or something. And I used to be a Baptist, so I know what preaching is. Shoot. But I also see the Son of the Divine. Thank you. I needed that. Oh, thank you. That was very much needed, Barbara. You are a blessing tonight. You are a blessing tonight. Also see the Son of the Divine. My. Yes. Yeah, same. I am a interfaith minister. I mean, obviously, or else I wouldn't be doing this, but I mean, I have a heart to help people, and I feel like that this is a way that I can do that. And I really, I don't know what else to say, but I sure do thank you for your support and everything. I hope I see you on some more, and hope that maybe we can have some conversation, do a little chat here and there. Okay, Carlo, if you are still on, buddy, I am ready for you, man. Also, Barbara, I have a video that is I have a video that is called Affirmations and beliefs, which goes into kind of my thoughts and processes of affirmations and beliefs, obviously. And so if you want to find that, sometime in the next couple of days or whatever, as something to watch or whatever, you're more than welcome to watch that, and so on. Cool. Carlo, the second call for Carlo. If you are on and watching, shout out to me, let me know, and I'll get your reading done here. Shona, hello, good evening. Okay, so if you would like to have a reading, just let me know. I have a free option with my spread, the Reader's Special. I do ask for a donation, but it's not required. If you have a multiple choice question, like if you need to know if you should do this or that, then that's $3. If you got two things that you need to ask about in that multiple choice, then that's $5. Past, present, future readings are $5. 7-card horseshoe is $10, and 10-card Celtic Cross is $15. If you would like to have a paid reading, I there should be a link to my PayPal in the chat there. Okay. I have a link to my PayPal. Should be in the chat. If you don't see it in the chat, I'll send the link again. Okay. Oop. Shift. Come on, man. There you go. The donation tip menu came up. Oh, yeah. No, wait. That is it. Haha. So you can send it to my PayPal, or you can also send it through Facebook Messenger, through Facebook Pay, or whatever it's called. Carlo, last call for Carlo. He's on a 1-minute timer. All right, so I'm going to move on from Carlo, and I have Shona from Periscope. Shona from Periscope, you are up next. Sure. Were you able to click on the link for the PayPal or Messenger? Okay, well, if you go to paypal.me/guide of the light, and you should be able to do it through that. And Guide of the Light is all one word. PayPal.me/guide of the light. Or look for me on Messenger under Stíofán Séamus, STIOFAN SEAMUS. What are the coins? What do you mean? Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. And what type of reading were you wanting today? Is just a general reading, or looking for a career reading, or a love reading, or? Just a general? Okay. More than welcome to do that. Okay. Okay. Shona asking for a general reading. So what does Shona need to know about their life right now? Shona, I need 3 numbers. The first number I need is between 1 and 16. The second number I need is between 1 and 22. The third number I need is between 1 and 40. You can get those numbers to me and we'll get to your reading. All right, 2, 22, and 36. And if you're watching, if there's anybody else watching, I should say, I do ask that you please go to my YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe to that. Also on Facebook, you can find me at Guide of the Light. And both of those would be very appreciated. Also, for the cards that I use in the show, there are descriptions on the YouTube channel description and in the Facebook description for the cards. You just go down there and you'll see the name of the decks and a link to go to them if you would like to purchase them from Amazon. So, the court card that you drew is the Page of Shields, or the Page of Pentacles. This suggests a child. It's practical. They're a practical little saver. There's a born entrepreneur. And they favor the outdoors. As news, suggest good news regarding finances, career, and learning something new. The major arcana card is 5, the Druid. in this deck. It's the Druid. In the traditional sense, is the Hierophant. The Hierophant. The card suggests is a good card of wisdom and spiritual insights. This is a time to seek a spiritual teacher or even books. One will find solutions through the spiritual realm. It's also a time of great universal lessons. The card from the lower 40 of the minor arcana is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands suggests that now is the time to dig deep into those spiritual reserves. You may be exhausted, but you got to keep going. Though you have had battles in the past, those are over now, and you have the spiritual and emotional strength to complete your task or goals. So, what does this mean for you? Well, let's break this down. I don't believe that this is a individual, a child. I believe that this is in regarding to news, the Page of Shields. So it, like I said, it does suggest good news regarding finances and career and learning something new. And so there may be a path forward for you that something that really jumps out to me about the commonality of all of these is the element of spiritual kind of, well, it's not all spiritual, but it's for being brought to a point of learning, and it could be a spiritual career. I don't know. There's kind of a few. It's not loose ends in the reading. It's just leading paths. The thing that really connects me here is that you got one card that talks about learning something new. Then you got another card that talks about card of wisdom and spiritual insights. This is the time to speak spiritual teacher or even books. So they're talking about learning again. One will find solutions through the spiritual realm. Time of great universal lessons. So there again, we're talking about learning, but then we're also talking about spirituality. Okay, and then the Nine of Wands, again, also talking about spirituality and digging into those reserves. So I feel like that there's been a time, you've had this time of learning something and coming to know, coming to new realization of who you are, in not only just your physical sense, but also your spiritual sense, and that this is probably actually something that you're thinking about maybe taking and forming into your career. I'm seeing something to the effect of like this druid really has me going. Because this is like a high priest. So we're talking about a very spiritual person here. So whenever what's standing out to me about this is it's like I'm getting this sense of like ministry, or some kind of spiritual guide, help, something like that. Are you looking into kind of going into a path of something like this? Like seminary comes to mind, but yet I don't feel like it's necessarily directly Christian related. So seminary doesn't make too much sense, but it would be something kind of similar to that. Be on the lookout for spiritual lessons to come your way. It's a deep time for spiritual reconciliation. Give me just a moment here. Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure, and this isn't like a reflection on the reading or you or me or anything. Excuse me. I have a feeling of that there's a wall here, like okay. I'm sensing some frustration going on, and I don't know if that's you, me, or the divine, or what. But I don't think that we can go further here. I'm just not picking up on any forward movement. So and I'm sorry about that, but it almost feels like you didn't ask the question that you wanted to ask. And yet again, it's not a reflection of you or me or anything, but it just kind of, that's how it feels. And I could be wrong, but it feels like that you had an idea of what you were hoping to talk about, but you wanted to kind of see where it went, which is not a problem. But I'm just kind of picking up on what energies I can from that. Well, sometimes it's just not there. And sometimes you just gotta be willing to admit that. I thought I was on a roll with something there, but then, sometimes it's just not meant to be. So, anyways, I do thank everyone that is watching for watching, that everybody that has been watching for watching, and everybody that's going to watch for watching, or whatever. If you do have a question, I encourage you to message me on Facebook Messenger at Stíofán Séamus to get in line for your reading. When I'm ready to do your reading, I will call your name, and if you don't reply within 3 minutes, I will have to move on to the next person. Do ask you to please be respectful while others are getting their readings done. If you have been skipped, I'll get to you as soon as possible. I do thank you for your patience and understanding while I am assisting others during their reading. If you would like to have a reading, the donation and tip menu is scrolling through on the introduction page or screen here. That is for the reader special is free. Do ask request a donation, but it's not required. Multiple choice questions that you have either or situation going on, $3 for that. If you have more than two choices, it's $5. Past, present, future readings, $5. 7-card horseshoe, $10, and 10-card Celtic cross, $15. Do ask you to send those donations and tips to paypal.me/guide of the light, or send money via Messenger, and you can find me on Messenger at Stíofán Séamus. That's STIOFANSEAMUS. Stíofán Séamus. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that would be more than greatly appreciated. And also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/guide of the light. I think that's got all the plugs in. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, so while I am waiting on my next big to-do, we're just going to skip right to this part here. Okay, so you see me use different cards in different readings, different times, and so on and so forth, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yes, I know, it's very bouncy. I'll know not to do that again. The next show, I won't have it there. So, I am going to give you all information. Great, lovely information. So, whenever I do the Archangel Oracle card readings, I am using this deck. If you can see, if I can get the light on it just right. Yeah. Archangel Oracle cards. You can ask your question here. I just prefer the Facebook if I'm really busy, but since I'm not really busy, it can be asked here. So the link to that deck is in the description on YouTube and Facebook. The other deck that I use, and I don't use it as often, but it was my first deck. I absolutely loved it as a beginner deck, but it is a guide to the Celtic Dragon Tarot. And that is a good starter deck if you're just getting started in tarot reading. Just a word of advice. They swap the wands and the swords in their meanings. But you can kind of feel out however you feel for that, and so on. The deck that I really, really like, and I really like to use, is the Branches of the Celtic Tarot by Christopher Hughes. And this is the one that I use almost every reading. And a link to that is also in the Facebook and YouTube description. Then, just kind of off the wall book that I suggest if you're somebody that wants to get into paganism, Wicca, branch of religion. This is a good starter as well. Wicca, a Guide for the Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham. It's a good read. It gives some good information. The poetry in his Standing Stone Book of Shadows is just great. I love some of the stuff that he says in there, some of the stories and so forth. So, anyways, all of those products have a link in the description on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you go to either of those, then you can, and speaking of, there's the YouTube link to my channel. And yes, please like, share, and subscribe to YouTube, by the way. Okay. So, Barbie. Okay, Barbie. So I have the reader special. It's the free reading. It's the no, I got your question. I have the reader's special. It's the free reading. And then I got a which you're probably going to want, past, present, future. That's $5. 7-card horseshoe is $10, and the 10-card Celtic cross is $15. If you just want the free reading, that's more than fine. Okie dokie. So what does Carmen feel about you? Okay, so we're going to ask the cards what you need to know about that relationship right now. So I need 3 numbers, Barbie. Barbie, I need 3 numbers. The first number is between 1 and 16. The second number between 1 and 22. And the third number between 1 and 40. Cameron. I'm sorry. Yes, Cameron. 3, 8, and 38. Can do, Barbie, can do. Five, 8, and 38. Good grief, boy, I am really having a night. 5, 8, and 38. I think I was looking at the 3 of the 38 whenever I said that. Okay. So for the court card, you pulled the King of Swords. So the King of Swords talks about somebody that needs a partner of equal intellect to be truly happy. They love to be challenged intellectually, and they are quick thinking and a great planner and can teach you a lot. As traits, it could suggest that one needs to be more cautious in approach to relationships, be more organized and plan. Okay. For your major arcana card, you got 20. In this deck, it's called Rebirth. In a regular deck, it's called Judgment. It talks about deep karmic bonds. One is seeing the truth with more clarity. Could also indicate a time to reflect on past actions and see the truth behind them. And then for your lower 48 card, I have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords indicates that there may be interference in a relationship. There could be another party involved, but not necessarily an affair. There may be envy, jealousy, and judgment that could be coming from others. It could also suggest that it is a time to be extra cautious. So let's back up for a moment and link these together. So, Cameron you said that you have he stopped talking to you. Then when you text him to come over, he responded. Is he a very intellectual type? Like, is he smart? Or does he? Or does he even? Is he? Is he kind of like? He told me he liked me a lot. A few days later, he stopped talking to me. Is he? Is he a type that? He likes to have a plan. He's kind of like kind of the type that he's the man with the plan. Like if there's something that's going to be going on, he wants to know what's happening. Okay. Yeah. I don't know that the controlling part is intentional. He may come across as controlling, but I don't know that he necessarily that him being controlling is necessarily him actually being controlling. Okay. Sorry, I had to work on something there for a second. So the next card, with it being Judgment, talking about there being deep karmic bonds. It could be that he is unsure about the relationship itself. This line of deep karmic bonds, that kind of suggests to me that he's that it's not necessarily anything of that you're doing. The Seven of Swords coming into play here is what also kind of clues me into that. And it's that he's had some distrust and though the card itself doesn't really talk about it that much, I feel like that's probably where his hold up is he's still kind of learning to try and trust again. I could be entirely wrong, but that's just kind of what I'm picking up on here, because it talks about this. There could be another party involved, but not necessarily an affair. And another party involved could be a relationship from the past. It could be, oh, well, but, I had a relationship that started out like this before, and it didn't end so well, so I don't know if I need to continue on this relationship path, and so on and so forth. So I would because then this next line of there may be envy, jealousy, and judgment. That judgment part, he's judging his this relationship or how he feels right now off of a relationship that he was in at one time. So I would say just to I don't think that you necessarily need to back off. I think you just need to allow him to let him take this at the pace that he is comfortable. And if it ends up that you all get together, then that's great. If not, then pick up and move on with what you know to do for yourself. Because you want to make sure that you stay in continuing to do things for your higher self. And if it doesn't serve your better good, then it doesn't deserve the attention. And that's not necessarily a negative on you or anything. It's just that you got to be able to realize whenever it's time to stop there with that. So anyways, I hope that helped. Whatever little bit of information that I could give to you there on that. All right, so if you are watching and you'd like to have a reading, go ahead and just let me know. Let me know. We're going to bypass the messenger for tonight. We're not all that too busy. Also, if you're watching and you like some of the content that you've been seeing so far, or if you just like to know whenever I'm going to be on because you like to hear the sound of my voice or something like that. Heard somebody tell me that I don't know, something about your voice, just listening to you is soothing and comforting, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, I listen to my own voice and I'm just like, ugh, but whatever. Anyways, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, be most appreciated. Also, you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/Guide of the Light. And both of those very, very appreciated. I do thank everyone that is watching or is going to watch or has watched for watching. If you have a question, just go ahead and message me, send something here on the chat. When I'm ready to do your reading, I'll call your name. If you do not reply within 3 minutes, I will move on to the next person. Sorry, I just have to be able to keep the show moving forward. I do ask that you please be respectful while others are getting their reading done. If you have been skipped, I will get to you ASAP. Thank you for your patience and understanding while I'm assisting others during their reading. Donation tip menu. Reader special is free, and donation is requested but not required. Multiple choice $3, For more than two choices, $5. Past, present, future readings, $5. 7 card horseshoe, $10. And 10 card Celtic cross, $15. When will my finances get better? Rimshaw, hey. Ooh, that's warm. Okay, Rimshaw, thank you for joining in. So you're going to ask, when will your finances get better? So we can definitely try to take a look-see at that. But I would like to know, would you want the Reader's Special? That is the free one. If you'd like to have something that's more in detail, would like to have a little compensation for that. Just so everybody knows, every dollar that I get in the show goes directly back to the show to get better equipment and so on and so forth. And so, just so you know. Okay, Rimshine, most certainly. Rimshaw, I need 3 numbers. The first number I need is between 1 and 16. The second number I need is between 1 and 22. The third number between 1 and 40. $6, $20, and $26. Very mathematical of you. Got a jumper. So, what does Rimshaw need to know about their finances right now? 6, 20, and 26. So the card from the court cards is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands suggests good news coming in, the start of something new with new perspective. One may feel like a student. The Major Arcana card is the number 3, the Mother. The Mother suggests one may be working from home and or a more creative career. This is a reminder to be patient as your seeds grow. And the lower 40 of the minor arcana is the 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords suggests one is doing a lot of worrying. One should step away so to get a clear idea of how to move forward. Meditation could do one a lot of good, but going into nature would be better, even if it's 5 minutes. So, let's take a moment here. So it does appear as though that finances will get better. To be able to say when is kind of out there. This is why I say I'm not a psychic, so I can't predict the future. I can just give you advice and look into different areas of your life and whatever Spirit allows me to see from that. So, another aspect of the Page of Wands is trying something new that will give one a broader perspective. One may feel vulnerable at first, but broadening horizons and travel related to business is suggested by the card. I don't see there being anything to do with travel. Okay. But as far as your finances go, I do see that things are hard, are worrisome. That is this 4 of Swords. And, you know, it just a key thing in that is to remember to take the time and get into a state of mind that is going to uplift your higher self. Getting you into a time and a space within your reality that also allows you to see the things for the bigger picture that they are. Okay. And so then when we go to the Mother, and it suggesting that one working from home and or a more creative atmosphere, and it being a reminder to be patient as your seeds grow. The key thing here is patience. As we're going through this time, which I'm not sure, are you in the States, Rimsha? Are you in the United States? I'm gonna assume that you are, but anyways, if you are, then I think this is what this is talking about is taking the time to be just easing into the things that are happening. I mean, we're kind of full fledged into it now, but financial situations are going to be what they are for the time being. And so, seeing this as a broader, bigger picture, um, you know, this patience. With the Four of Swords also indicates rest, depending upon how the reading is in itself as well. So rest or patience. You are being protected in some aspects. That's this with the Page of Wands here, with the dragon kind of draped over her shoulders. The dragon's kind of sitting there over her shoulders, and it's acting like a cloak or a thing of or kind of protection over her. And so you are protected financially. It's just with the way that things are right now, there's some instability, and I understand that, but I don't think that is necessarily to be feared, but remembered and taken a day at a time. So I hope this eases your unsettled feelings about your finances. I know that there's a lot of people out there that they themselves are unsettled about their finances. And, all we can really do is just take this thing a day at a time and hope and pray that everything will turn out the way that it's supposed to. So, thank you for letting me do a reading for you. If you would like to purchase any of the decks that I use in my readings, you can go to my YouTube or Facebook page and go to the reading on the YouTube in the description on this stream. I do have links to the products that I use, plus a book that I recommend if you're wanting to be a solitary pagan Wiccan practitioner. And so on and so forth. And I'll be adding stuff to that list as time goes, but I just got to kind of get to the point of listing those things. If you would like a reading, you can send me a message, let me know. A preferable way to do that is through Facebook Messenger, but right now there's not a lot of people asking for a reading. So if you would like to skip the messenger part and just ask your question in chat, that'd be more than acceptable as well. The donation tip menu is you got the reader special, and that is free. I am requesting donations, but that is not required to have a reading done. Multiple choices $3, more than 2 choices is $5. Past, present, future readings is $5. 7-card horseshoe 10. 10-card Celtic Cross reading is $15. I'm probably going to do this about another 30 minutes or so. Say about 1:30 Central Time. We're gonna cut out. We're gonna say that that's the end, and get into the final thoughts segment here, and finish this up. So, I'm looking forward to at least a little bit of chat. If there's somebody out there that just wants to chat, and chat away. So while we're waiting, oh yeah, I am having to be creative. And don't think that I'm rude whenever I'm doing this. I'm not on my phone trying to message somebody or anything. I am actually getting ready to open up an app. I think this one is the one that I really liked. Yeah. No, maybe not. Nope. Okay, come on now. So I've got an astrology app that I am looking at implementing into the show, so that maybe we can, kind of add another little piece of pizzazz to the show. Pizzazz. Yeah, well, it's not going to happen today. So, I tell you what, I am actually going to go ahead and call it evening. I didn't sleep good last night and everything, and I had several readings this evening, so I'll be satisfied with that. So, final thoughts. Well, final thoughts. Don't get too uptight about everything that's going on. It will work out. It will be how it's supposed to be, and it will do how it's supposed to do. You just let it ride. I know it's easier said than done, and I know it's not really all that fun, but just trust me. And really, don't trust me, trust the divine, and trust your higher self. Whatever is going to benefit your higher self, that's what you need to do. And that is the biggest, most absolutely 100% positive message that I could say. As a guide of the light, I challenge you to live your life in a way that is for the betterment of humanity. And that is my final thought. In light and love, Stíofán Séamus, guide of the light.
forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/guide of the light. You can also find me on Twitter at guide of the LIGH1, the number 1. I don't know. Don't ask me. I didn't do it. Twitter did. And it's all kinds of messed up. But anyways, thank you. And have a good one.